Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Happy Monday to everyone out there. It is another beautiful, yet, kind of rainy day. Happy Memorial Day to all those that are observing, and to all of the military personnel out there. But yeah, happy Monday. It is, like I said, it's gloomy as hell outside right now. And welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any other topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. As always, it's your boy, your host, Jayson Estrera. And today, we actually got a lot of things to talk about. A lot of things happened. It was a wild weekend for the playoffs. Caitlin Clark as well had a long weekend. And we have just a lot of things to talk about. But first, let's start with a little bit of a fun topic. So Jeff Teague obviously has a very popular podcast called Club 520. And they were talking about this. I never thought I would hear something like this, but let's take a look at it.
Y'all just don't have an AI though. Y'all have an impactful nigga like that. Disrespectful.
Chris Paul just as good as Allen Iverson, bro. Oh,
Fuck no.
Whew.
for real, bro.
Chris Paul
his
is
career
one of the
actually was better
greatest.
than Allen Iverson.
Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards to ever bless the court.
His career is better than Allen Iverson.
So I guess there's a two-parter for that, right? Because Jeff had started off saying he's just as good as Allen Iverson. Chris Paul is just as good as Allen Iverson. And then goes on to say that Chris Paul has a just as good or a better career than Allen Iverson. Now, when you first hear this, you react how Behan just reacted to it, where he's like, "Fuck no, fuck Allen Iverson, Chris Paul. Of course, that's not even close, right?" But when you say one has a better career than the other one, that doesn't necessarily mean one is a better player, right? So let's just take a look at it really quickly then, right? Allen Iverson played 914 games. I think he played, 12 plus 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17 years in the NBA. Is that right? 96, 97. So more like fucking 14 years, because he probably didn't even play full seasons. But yeah, so he's played 914 games, right? Averaged 26.7 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 6.2 assists on 42.5% shooting, 31.3 from the field, 78% from the free throw line. He is a Hall of Famer, an 11-time All-Star, a 4-time scoring champ, 3-time steals champ, 7-time All-NBA, 96-97 All-Rookie, 1996-97 Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, 2000-2001 MVP, and a part of the NBA 75th anniversary team. Now, if we look at Chris Paul's numbers, for his career, 17.5, 4.5 rebounds, 9.4 assists, 47.1 field goal, 36.9 from 3, 87% from the line. Now, he is a 12-time All-Star, 5-time assist champ, 6-time steals champ, 11-time All-NBA, 2005-2006 All-Rookie, 2005-2006 Rookie of the Year, 9-time All-Defensive, 2012-2013 All-Star Game MVP, and the 75th anniversary, part of the NBA 75th anniversary team. Obviously, we're talking about two of the greatest players ever. And Jeff Teague might have a case because although, 26.7 is nothing to it's fucking amazing, right? 26.7 is incredible. But when you look at totals, right? Obviously, Chris Paul has played, 300 plus more games, right? Which is almost like 4 seasons worth extra. So the point totals isn't, it's not so far off. 22,200, 24,300. You look at the assists and he doubles Chris Paul. Chris Paul doubles Allen Iverson's assist totals. And the steals, 1983 to Chris Paul's 2614. Now, in terms of a career, let me see. In terms of a career, yes, I think you can say Chris Paul has had a more successful career. Right? Because if you really look at it, 11-time All-NBA to 7, 3-time steals champ to 6, never an all-defensive player. Chris Paul is a 9-time all-defensive team. Obviously, the difference is now you're just comparing a 5-time assist champion versus a 4-time scoring champ. Now, which do you value more? And also, obviously, Allen Iverson has one MVP award and Chris Paul does not have one. Another part in this is when Allen Iverson went to the NBA Finals, he was the main guy on the team. I know people care about this stuff. He was the main guy on the team, as opposed to when they got there with the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker was clearly the main guy on the team. Chris Paul has had a better career. He's been consistent for much longer. Allen Iverson has this unique play style where you need to run everything through him. Although he did get his points still with the Carmelo Anthony in Denver. If I were to pick a player, I would pick Allen Iverson. I think if they went one-on-one, Allen Iverson would destroy him. If they went at each other, I just think Allen Iverson was just more impactful as a player. A better scorer, a lot more elusive off the dribble. They both didn't really shoot the three very well. I know Allen Iverson gets a lot. I know Chris Paul has gotten a lot of credit over time for being a mid-range scorer, but Allen Iverson was every bit as good, if not better than him, in my opinion. And just for me, scoring the ball is more important than getting an assist so someone else can score the ball. That's just me personally. So I value the ability to score over the ability to pass. So player to player, Allen Iverson to me is a better player. But in terms of a full career, with all of the accolades, the all defensive teams and whatnot, I think you would give that nod to Chris Paul. So no, Jeff Teague wasn't capping and just talking a bunch of shit. Although when you first hear it, it's kind of one of those where you're like, oh shit, what the fuck? It's like one of those. It just kind of catches you off guard, and then when you actually look at it, and and really look through everything, even like the MVP award, the All-Star Game MVP, I was of the belief that, you know, Chris Paul wouldn't even have one. Like, not that I remember him getting one, but he has one All-Star Game MVP. So Iverson doesn't even have a leg up on him in that scenario. You know what I'm saying? I do think that, like, the regular season MVP award shows, in my opinion, that in just a toe-to-toe, right? Not necessarily like team accomplishments included, because some of that, like, assists, like, you're facilitating, guys got to make shots, defensive. I think that a part of that is a part of the team defense, right? You could probably argue, being the steals champ, that Allen Iverson could have potentially been on a all defensive team one of those years. But just toe to toe, the scoring champ, you take Allen Iverson, the player. But in terms of a career, I think Chris Paul has a slight edge on him. And so, speaking of, you know, point guards and guards, we move on to kind of not the modern day, but the newer version. I guess you could say it, the modern day point guards, which would be on the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. So last night, we saw the Dallas Mavericks take a 3-0 lead against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Dallas. The Dallas Mavericks ended up winning the game 116-107. It was another game where both Dallas Mavericks stars had over 30 points, right? Each of them had 33. Luka had 33 points, a block, 5 steals, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. 8 of 10 from the line, 5 of 11 from 3, 10 of 20 from the field. Kyrie, 33 points, 1 steal, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 3 of 6 from 3, 12 of 20 from the field. On the other side, for the Minnesota Timberwolves, we had 26 points from Anthony Edwards, who also had 2 steals, 9 assists, 9 rebounds, 4 of 6 from the line, 0 of 2 from 3, 11 of 24 from the field. And the second most points was from Jaden McDaniels, who had 15 points, 1 steal, 1 rebound, 6 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. And Cat only shot 5 of 18, 0 of 8 from 3, had 11 rebounds, 3 assists, good for 14 points. So let's take a look at how this actually how this worked itself out. Nope, what am I doing?
Screen by Gafford. It's 1-on-1, 3 Luka. Jarred away, here comes the double team. Edwards now has 1-on-1 with Washington. And a floater.
Those two guys and just tag team them.
Oh.
In the corner for Jones and across the lane to
Seeing Luka Doncic.
Edwards exposed to the rim. Scoring the basketball. 15 points in game 1 of the launch. Who could have gone in for the layup. Get into my dynamic playmaker.
Wow.
To go on Edwards and
Nazareth has been big for them.
Irving will set up. Trying to the Conley and over. Towns.
I was 3 for 18 from 3 in the series.
Whew.
He's coming off a 1 of 6 in game 2.
Close out by the Daniels.
And he's followed that up with a solid effort tonight.
Oh my God.
No Anthony Edwards. Now attack.
Driving.
That's great.
Blasting his way inside.
Great.
With 2 road wins. 9.
Oh my goodness.
Rim protect. Edwards with the dribble. Nice handle. Over Green.
Unreal.
Here go the hands. Here goes the drive and the fadeaway.
Minnesota's plus 14 tonight.
Washington watches Towns, and this is over Powell. Counting foul. Doncic on the move, shedding the defense of Anderson and pulls up for 15.
Oh my God.
Good ball rotation. Reed open. They'll meet Alexander Walker. Puts on the brakes and
Woo!
Doncic, the NBA scoring champion, against the six-man award winner with a spinner.
Goodness gracious.
Doncic looking for the screen. It's off to Irving in the corner. It's a three. Works by McDaniels, who's got to be careful.
Oh my God.
Here now.
Irving and Edwards, Towns will pick him up. Backpedals, long shot.
Whoa.
There, tailed by McDaniels. Gafford! In NBA playoff history.
So, we obviously saw the Dallas Mavericks take a commanding 3-0 lead against the Minnesota Timberwolves, which, I'll be honest, is a shock for me. I do think that this Minnesota Timberwolves is a really good team, but you know, basketball at times could really be like boxing or just fighting, where sometimes a team is just a bad matchup. Sometimes teams are just a bad matchup for you. And the Dallas Mavericks, you have two guards that are two of the best guards that we have ever seen. I don't care if you want to classify them point guards, shooting it. They are two of the best guards that we have ever seen. The game that against the Phoenix Suns, the Timberwolves had trouble when both Kevin Durant and Devin Booker were in attack mode. And had Bradley Beal and those other guys just had a better understanding of their role, maybe they could have made that series look different. Because what's currently happening is you have the Dallas Mavericks, who have played two totally different brands of basketball from the first series, from the first round and the second round. In round one against the LA Clippers, you saw every game Luka and Kyrie seemed to be trying to... It's like they predicted the sort of output that the Clippers stars would need to have in order to win, which was about 50 shots a game. Because that's about how many shots Luka and Kyrie were taking. They were taking about 50 shots, and they were good for like 60 plus points of the team. And it was as if they knew that as long as they can win that matchup against the stars, that they could win the game, because their other guys understand their roles. Now, when you move on to the second round against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who don't have a clear second star, they only have Shea. And it felt as though the game plan was Luka needs to be able to match Shea's output. And instead of Kyrie going out and taking a bunch of shots, Kyrie and those other guys needed to match the output of Chet, both Williams, Luke Dort, Josh Giddey. It's like 4 or 5 players for OKC that can go and get you 12 to 18 points each. And so if you're doing math and you have Luka and Shea who are just canceling each other out, and then you have 4 guys that can go and get you 12, let's say 13 points on average each, That's 52 points. And so I believed, and I said this during that series, that Kyrie understood that, and rather than him taking 25 to 30 shots, it was more important for him to facilitate and try to get a similar output from him and the rest of the guys. So that's why you saw him get 11 to 12, 9 points, but he had 8, 9, 10, 11 assists, because those 11 assists turned into 18, 20 plus points from PJ Washington, Gafford, Lively, all of these guys, Derrick Jones Jr. And now, against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who clearly have 2 stars, and it seems as though the Dallas Mavericks have reverted back to their strategy in the first round, which is we need to beat out our matchups, their output, which is Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. And Luka and Kyrie have done a masterful job of staying aggressive. When I was watching this series after game 1 and 2, the comparison for me is it's almost as if I'm watching a high level boxing or MMA fight. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have 2 boxers that are very technical and very good, even if they have some punching power, it's a very technical fight. Sometimes that fight looks a little bit boring to people. It's a tight fight. No one's really taking a massive lead. It's, each fighter is taking their turns having, leading the dance, as they say. Same thing happens with MMA. If you have like 2 kickboxers or 2 stand-up fighters or like 2 wrestlers just being technical, it almost looks kind of boring because the adjustments are so small, right? Like for the Dallas Mavericks, it's, are they going to blitz Luka or not? And he just it's simply a read, right? Either they blitz me and I make the pass, I get around the corner, I split it. How hard are they going to show? Does this person hit the shot? So now I can actually go and get a dribble off because they won't show as hard. Kyrie's the same thing. And for the Timberwolves, in a weird way, it's similar because all they've done is double Anthony Edwards, right? So the moments he can, like last night, get shots off, it's making those little reads. They made a run in the third quarter that, definitely put a little bit of fear into that arena. But in the end, Dallas has 2 players to lean on that are going to get good shots for them. Things that I would call sometimes a bad shot in the flow of a game, at the end of a game, is a good shot. Like Luka's step back becomes a great shot at the end of a game. The reason being, you don't run many plays in the end of the game. It's a lot of one-on-ones, pick and roll, and get a matchup, which is exactly what Dallas has been doing. That's the best shot you're going to get, is a Luka step back, and there's a high percentage on it if he gets a matchup, and you let him isolate. Kyrie is the same thing. He hit the shot in the corner. They threw a blitz at him, and he just got around the corner, stepped back, and pulled up, and that was it. You have 2 high-level scorers for Dallas that have taken it upon themselves to beat out the Minnesota Timberwolves duo in Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. Which leads me to Karl Anthony Towns. Because 0 of 8 from 3. What is it? 8 of 16? Or no. Sorry. 8 of 16. 5 of 18 from the field. As you can see right here, you know, they're walking off together. And in a lot of these, and in a lot of their post-game interviews, they've been doing the interviews together, except for last night. And Kat had this to say.
I know I'm putting. I gotta laugh. I'm putting up to 1,500 shots a day, and shot so well all playoffs. Confidence extremely high, and to be having these unfortunate bounces and these looks that are just not going in, it's tough.
Why the fuck are we lying right now, Karl Anthony Towns? See, the reason I chose the Denver Nuggets to win Game 7, excuse me, was because at the end of the day, I didn't think that Karl Anthony Towns was going to show up as Anthony Edwards' duo when it really came down to it. And technically, they didn't win that matchup in that series. Especially in that Game 7. The rest of the guys for Denver just didn't show up. They never made it to the arena. And why the fuck are you lying, Karl Anthony Towns? The fact that, see, for me, this is telling, right? And I don't want to be the person that's going on about just fucking bullshit, but to me, it's telling, because you're talking about your jump shot in a series where you're damn near the biggest motherfucker on the court. You're worried about the wrong thing, sir. You're worried about the wrong... I don't know if you've noticed, but when you post up, they double team you. When you post up, 9 times out of 10, you are bigger than the person you are posting up. And you're talking about 1,500 shots. First of all, let's do the math. You played Sunday, right? Next game is Tuesday. So I don't know when y'all flew, but let's say you flew out last night, got in this morning. There's no way you guys are really doing actual workout. You guys are going over your strategies, and you're getting some shots up, but you guys rest and recovery. You are not sitting in the gym in between a playoff game taking 1,500 shots. I am so sorry. I just don't believe it. We're not in the middle of the summertime and you're ramping up to play your regular season. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? What is the point of that? And why the fuck did you leave Anthony Edwards by himself? Well, not by himself. You let him go, bro. Let's see. Let's see this shit. Bro, you left your duo out to dry, and now he gotta do a fucking press conference with Kyle Anderson and Mike. Are we dead ass? This is what you're doing, Karl Anthony Towns. And maybe I be tripping, but like, are we serious? I get it. It's a small detail. Maybe I'm making a whole lot about nothing. But you can't be excited to go do a press conference with your teammate after good games, and then you fucking leave him out there when you have an awful game. What the fuck are we doing? You can't and then lie. Bro, you gotta get your shit together, Karl Anthony Towns, because I mean, y'all have already lost this series, but I'd be looking at you real funny if I was Anthony Edwards. I'm so sorry. Like, it just is what it is. I would be looking at you so funny right now. So funny, because I know your teammates know how many shots you've got. Like, we know, and it was just unnecessary, and it was a crock of shit. You guys have just been playing horrible, and you've been playing bad. You're not taking advantage of your one-on-ones. You're not taking advantage of your size, and you're talking about a motherfucking jump shot. That's the problem. That's the real problem. God damn it. Oh, and I guess to just close off that game, sometimes it's just a matter of a matchup, right? What if the Denver Nuggets would have been a better matchup for the Minnesota Timberwolves? Because at this point in time, the Dallas Mavericks are just picking and choosing all of their matchups between Luka and Kyrie. And one, I'm wondering, when will Anthony Edwards step up to the challenge? Right? Because you obviously run the risk of getting 2 early fouls against Luka Doncic, or you put the referee in a weird situation. We have 2 star players, and now we have to choose whether we're going to blow the whistle or not. And ironically enough, they might let you get away with some physicality against him. Is that even a conversation that they've had? But at some point, I think you need to look for that matchup and then get the Luka and Kyrie matchup on the other end. You need to somehow impose your will on the game. And I hate it when motherfuckers say that shit, but you need to apply pressure on Luka and Kyrie on defense and on offense, is what I'm trying to say. Use your physicality and your athleticism. Right? Because right now, when you're defending them, what they're doing is they're using all of your physicality and athleticism against you. They both have a bop game that can get you to shift and move, and all of a sudden your athleticism don't really matter when they can bump you. We see them doing it to Rudy Gobert every fucking possession. However, competing and trying to force them to do something different, and then going on the other end and now forcing them to play defense on you, it's a little too late, but something like that. Maybe, and throwing a Naz Reid on Luka. You guys have tried Kyle Anderson. Maybe just something, right? Maybe you put Jaden McDaniels on Kyrie and just take Conley out. Maybe you just start, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Kyle Anderson, with Naz Reid and Catter, something along those lines, and just make it weird. But yeah, because sometimes, like I said, it's just a game of matchups, and someone like Jokic would have been able to pull away the Dallas Mavericks bigs from the rim, right? Because he's going to be running high pick and rolls. He's going to have the ball at the top of the key and give guys room to operate. But, this is where we are. I think the Timberwolves would have to do something wild, like start Anthony Edwards at the 1 and take out Conley and Gobert. Try to play faster, because Dallas right now is opportunistic on fast breaks, but they have turned the game into a half-court game. And Minnesota needs to find a way to speed it up. But yeah, so as we look to the other side of the conference, to the Boston Celtics and the Indiana Pacers, who had a game 3 in Indiana on Saturday, yep. Where they won 114-111. And they were down for most of this game, I believe. And Tatum again, 36 points, 8 assists, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 8 assists, 10 rebounds. 12 of 23 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3, 7 of 11 from the line. Jaylen Brown went 10 of 18 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line. With 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and another 24 points. Al Horford had 23 points himself. Had 24 points himself, 8 of 14 from 3, 7 of 12 from 3, to go with 5 rebounds. For the Indiana Pacers, we saw Andrew Nembhard with 32 points and 9 assists with 4 rebounds, 12 of 21 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 4 of 4 from the line. And Siakam added 22 points and 6 assists, 3 rebounds with a steal, 9 of 18 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. And Miles Turner also had 22 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, which is surprising, 4 of 4 from the line, 10 rebounds, and 1 assist. So let's take a look at how this actually played out.
Siakam tries a couple of moves, gorgeous play, and White tries a three-pointer. Tatum with Obi Toppin on. Finds some room, fires away. Siakam drives down a lane, layup, it's good.
It's a little longer to develop here.
Horford left open, and Horford makes him pay it over. Brown back up top, Tatum lines up a 3, that's good. A spin move from McConnell, kicks it out Nembhard, hoists up the 3, it's good. McConnell a drive, sneaks around, nice fake, puts it up,
wow.
Nembhard, McDermott, Nembhard, long 3.
Woo!
Nembhard,
good pass.
6 on the 20. Spin move, Siakam, layup is good, and the back with the rejection. Here's Brown, goes right at Nembhard, lays it up and in. Tatum, a 3, got it.
Shifters, TJ McConnell has checked back in the game. Can he be the energy shifter here?
Nembhard drives, reverse, he bags it home. Tatum kicks it back out. White.
What a pass.
The three-pointer, 8 to shoot.
Look at this move right here. This guy's been incredible. Another one.
McConnell drives. McConnell scores. Brown falling away, jump shots it back out to Brown. Tatum straight on with a three, puts it in. Tatum drives, goes inside.
What a pass.
Puts it in. Ellison's go. Nembhard drives into the paint, knocked away. It's
Rip.
stolen by Holiday. It's Nesmith. Nesmith with a three. Won't go. And
So, obviously we saw the Boston Celtics take a 3-0 lead and honestly steal another game. Like, I don't get how they keep doing this. The Indiana Pacers at the half were up 69-57, and first and foremost, shouts out to Andrew Nembhard. He has been phenomenal. Even when Halliburton was playing against the Knicks, he was great. And in the last couple of games, he has continued that. Ever since he hit that game winner, I felt like his confidence has just been through the roof, right? And with the greenest of green lights, with Halliburton out the game, and they needed points, he provided buckets for them. And you also got to give some credit to Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. Siakam, who's been consistent in this, but Miles Turner, who's finally applied pressure on the rim, was in the paint, dunks, layups, post-ups, instead of living at the three-point line. And we saw him obviously end up with, end up with 10 rebounds, right? Siakam has again just been taking anyone smaller than him to the basket, post up and spins, hitting mid-range shots. But in the end, it really, let me see. It really started with when Boston made a run in the third in that game, right? That's when they really made the run. And the thing about them is when the game gets tight, they have their sets that they just run automatically. In this game, Al Horford was the one that they kept featuring with the Jayson Tatum pick and roll. The game before that, it was the Derek White pick and roll. And it's just they have... The game one, it was the Derek White pick and roll. Game two, it was obviously Jaylen Brown going crazy. It's just every game they have found a different win condition. And it makes them dangerous because all of their players are obviously confident. Everyone has been able to step up when they needed to. Like having Turner and Siakam more wary of the paint obviously opened up some more shots for Horford, and them double teaming Tatum. He took advantage of that all night. And in the end, Tatum hit shots when he needed to, and so did the rest of the guys. They just have this great combination of sort of like Luka and Kyrie, where Tatum and Brown are gonna make plays. It's gonna be the ball's gonna be in their hand, and their best players are gonna make decisions, and they're just gonna live and die by that. And at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for, right? I personally hate it when you leave your fucking role player to go and make a decision for the game when your best player has earned that right. And that's what we've seen. We've seen the two closers of Boston really take care of Indiana down the stretch. Kind of similar to how the Mavericks have been doing with the Timberwolves. The game is kind of close. Dallas will make a run. Minnesota will make a run. And then in the end, Dallas just pulls it out. And that's kind of what Boston has just been doing. So looking ahead, what does that series look like? Who will be able to execute better down the stretch? Because both the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics have two stars that can make shots down the stretch, that can isolate and get buckets. But they also have guys who can hit shots that they've proven to, like Derek White, Drew Holiday. For Dallas, you have PJ Washington and Derek Jones Jr., Al Horford. It's really going to come down to, in my opinion, to how will Boston try to take away the alley-oop from the Dallas Mavericks. That's really what it's going to come down to for me. How are they going to prevent those guys from getting those alley-oops? And who is Drew Holiday going to play? Is Drew Holiday going to end up playing Kyrie? Is it going to be Drew on Kyrie and Brown on Luka? Or something like that. And then you're going to have Tatum kind of roam between PJ Washington and either Derek Jones Jr. or Lively at times, right? And it's just going to be, what are those matchups going to look like? And we're going to talk about that more moving forward. But starting to look ahead, because these series are over. I would love to say that Indiana gets a game, but I really don't think that they do. Four games, this is over. We had a super exciting round 2 of basketball in the playoffs from the East and the West. And now we have the most boring conference finals. Well, not the most boring, but just the outcome of it, right? It doesn't look like we're going to get more than 4 to 5 games. And I think this series is fucking done. So in 4 games, Celtics win tonight. It doesn't even fucking matter how. They'll figure a way out, because they've figured a way to win in every game, and Indiana has figured a way to lose every game. And I don't think that's going to change, because it just is what it is. Now, speaking of figuring out how to... Where the fuck? Now, talking about figuring out ways to win. Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever getting their first win.
Ascension of women's basketball. Here's Smith. She can hit that shot, and she does by 1. Here's Brink. Nice spin in the lane. Brink. That for you. I don't have that luxury. Nice give and go. Clark right at the
nice.
Clark deep position has the seal against Smith. CL injury a couple of years ago. Not quite herself last year with Seattle.
Horrible.
That's her old self as Clark turns it over there, trying to go behind the back. Numbers here for LA. Cleared it. Touch pass. Hamby. Oh, everybody gets a
showtime.
Mark. No call there. Kick out to Brown. Brown sees it.
Nice.
Finlay comes up with it. Here's Clark in transition where she's dangerous. Leaves it behind. Everybody talks about the logo threes.
Yeah, they do. Nice concept.
Good pass. Another great pass. Wow.
And Wallace
so far. 0-5 from distance.
Clark finds Boston in the lane, uses that and a turnover. The pitch ahead.
Wow.
Clark one-on-one
And then gets fucking blocked.
You have to play through that.
Hey, shit.
The hesitation.
What a move.
Fourth quarter action here on Ion. Clark's shot blocked. Boston's Brink gets the bounce. Clark being picked up by Clarendon. Brink
what a
there,
pass.
Nice pass back to Mitchell against Talbot. Trying to go off the bounce. The step back. Kelsey Smith was not in, but she's back in there right now. Here's Mitchell. Chanta defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock.
Trey ball. Woo!
3 points.
Right back.
Brink will try Clark.
Oh, give me that.
He's gonna let it fly.
Woo!
Second half.
Clark just gonna dribble this.
So Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever finally get on the board and get their first win of the regular season. So this game took place on Friday. Let's take a look right here. So for the Fever, Caitlin Clark had 11 points, only 2 turnovers, 4 steals, 8 assists, and 10 rebounds. She only shot 4 of 14 from the field, 2 of 9 from 3, but those were 2 big threes. Kelsey Mitchell had 18 points, and Aaliyah Boston had 17 as well. And on the other side, we saw Cameron Brink go for 18 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. And we also saw Rikia Jackson. I hope I'm saying her name right. I don't know if I am. 16 points, 2 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. And so obviously it's nice to finally see Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever get a win, because like I said, her team just isn't very good. So expecting them to get a whole bunch of wins off rip is just it's not likely, right? But I will say I did see some really good things from them. The first I will say is, let's take a look at this real quick. You have to expect plays like this, but she also needed to drop. She was just kind of waiting and let, what is that, number 9 or number 4? Let number 4 just kind of get there. She had to be there to seal that, right? Because, well, one, you have to live with mistakes. You know, point guards, especially creative ones that are going to try to make passes like this, you have to live with it. And yes, she made a bad pass, but she needs to be here sealing her, because now it opens up this corner 3. It just, she had to get there. There was another thing that I thought was super important for them. Oh, here. Bro, look at this shit. 25 don't even leave Caitlin Clark. That's how worried they are of her. They just leave homegirl open. Look at this shit. She's just, hey, fuck you. I don't give a fuck if you shoot. Like, what the hell? Yeah, that was a beautiful pass. This was a beautiful pass as well. She was just making some fucking plays, man. 2 players on her. A great pass right here. Almost a risky pass, but a great pass. And this is just pure instinct. And this is just instinct, right? So she's definitely showing that, but then you got to try to set her up for a euro right here. She just kind of just goes up. You got to try to set her up for something right there. But yeah, just definitely some stuff to see. I thought this play by them was great to try to get her open like this. She just got blocked. She has to make this pocket pass. Like, I get that it's a close game, right? This needs to be a fake, and this needs to be a pocket pass. She needs to turn quicker and start getting downhill already, and this needs to be a pocket pass by Clark. So both of them, and those are the little things that, you know, she needs to hit, and it'll also open Clark up. So now when she comes off of that pick and roll, that little bit of hesitation will give her this opening so that the shot doesn't get blocked, right? So if she would have hit her that time, the next time they do it, Brink won't come up as high. Because look, she was already jumping before because she already knows. she already stepped off and she's already getting ready to jump because number 7 isn't even looking aggressive at this point to try to get there. This needs to be a fake and a drop down pass. And she gets a shot off of it too, but you clean that shit up. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's a good start, but they need to look at what they could do better. Whoa. But yeah, so from that to what is the number 1 team in the excuse me. All right, so the see all standings. Oh my god, my allergies just started kicking my ass. So the Las Vegas Aces are the third team, the number 3 team. And they are, what, 3-1 at the moment after their victory. What was that? Shit, let's take a look at it. So this game was on Saturday, and we saw the Las Vegas Aces defeat the Indiana Fever 99-80. Oh, let's see this. Caitlin Clark had only 8 points, 2 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 6 turnovers. Excuse me. And then we saw Kelsey Mitchell have 16 points, 6 of 14 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And on the other side, A'ja Wilson had 29, 12 of 18 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Kelsey Plum had 20, Jackie Young had 22. Let's take a look at how this played out.
Guard Caitlin Clark. When Caitlin has the ball, ooh, see, that's a difference maker. Yeah, she missed training camp with an ankle injury, but her speed is back.
Watch that inside hand, that left hand. Caitlin Clark,
Back Binley, what an energy she brings to the floor for the Fever. Plum back at you. And Caitlin Clark overtaking that, and A'ja.
She got to check out first.
Plum on the drive.
The mental health of these players, because social media has been some buckets.
It sure was. Top 4 scorers at the college level here.
Wow.
In this. Wilson in the paint, and the and one.
A'ja Wilson. Wow.
As well as Sydney Colson to start for the Aces. How about another?
do whatever it takes to win.
Martin drives it in, and one.
Friends with Caitlin Clark. The Kate Martin is her name.
A'ja one-on-one. Help D.
Great pass.
Thinking about it instead. Out the Plum. And Binley, 11 minutes in an Aces uniform.
So that game at, let's see what was it at the half? This is not what I'm looking for. Okay, so at the half, it was what? 38-27 to 46. So it wasn't like wasn't a big lead, right? The big difference really was this third quarter, 26-18. The Aces won, and it really felt as though when they decided to turn it up, the Indiana Fever, they were just a much better team than Indiana. We also saw the Aces really target Caitlin Clark, as they should, right? Similar to how they would do to Steph Curry or, and Isaiah Thomas. All of these smaller point guards that aren't really great defenders, we've seen it in the NBA. They target those guys. Steve Nash. You saw in so much action that they had her in it, right? Like this right here. She's in a drop, right? And they're double teaming her. Caitlin should have, and that's why her teammate tries to like push her. You were already trailing. You did your job of forcing her to go over the top of, to go all the way through the screen and to get into the teeth of the defense where your bigs are. But she really had to go back. But the point is, the Aces made it a point to really target her on defense, right? She had a crazy shot right here on Plum, but Plum was also putting pressure on her, right? She answered right back with a 3. Where's another one? Right here, taking Clark off the dribble, right? We saw Clark on Aja right here, right? They were forcing her to play defense. Beautiful play right here too. Pick to the snake dribble, step back, cash. Aja Wilson was incredible, obviously. Fade away is so buttery. Let's see, is there another one over here? But there's just numerous times where they were picking on her, and it's basketball. They're a great team. That's what they're supposed to do. You're supposed to pick on a rookie when a rookie's on the court. It's like an unwritten rule of the game, and that leads me to what Becky Hammon and Aja Wilson had to say about Caitlin Clark. Let's take a look at this.
We love Caitlin Clark. No, I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do. We're just doing our job. And so I think this narrative of like everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there. It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
Not perfect.
She's not perfect. She's a rookie in this league. Like, back off.
People don't give her a chance. This is growth. We tell our rookies every single day, this is new. You're coming into a whole nother new world and starting over. So the questions are only annoying because it's like, she's young. She's a rookie. Y'all keep asking us these questions as if she's a grown-ass woman that's been in this league for years. Like, no, she's doing her job. We're doing ours. And at the end of the day, that's how we grow. Is when we get better and do things like that. So, yeah, I'm just exhausted over the conversation because I know she's exhausted. I can only imagine.
Yep.
So,
And so far as the charters and this and that, I don't care if Kermit the Frog made the change. We've been fighting for this. We've been pushing. I mean, I played in this league at 99, and we were traveling the same way. And like I said, I don't really care who's bringing this or who's bringing the crowds. What I care is that they're there and they're on the eyes and they see how great women's basketball is. That's what I care about. And that's a mic drop. Bye.
And Becky Hammond, y'all. Becky fucking Hammond, y'all. And hey, if you don't know, if y'all have never heard of Becky Hammond, she played the same exact way. And the other thing that some of y'all might not know is she was an assistant coach under Greg Popovich. So she was on her Greg Popovich shit, and she didn't say anything wrong at all. Because let's be honest, this is what the media likes to do, right? They'll ask you the question and then they'll post your response, but they'll never show the part where they're asking the question, right? And so over and over and over and over and over again, they're asking these women who are Caitlin Clark's opponents and competitors about how great she is. What do you think about what she's done? Are you grateful for the charter plane? And what Becky Hammond is saying right there, of course we are grateful for it. We don't have to go and fucking thank her because it'll come. But we got to go play against this person, and we can't just sit here and we keep praising someone that we have to go play on Tuesday, or in this case on Saturday for the. And for me, the most telling part of this was early in what she said, right? For me, the most telling part in this is what.
And our league, there's no. I think
part.
She's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do. We're just doing our job.
She started off by saying that she loves her, obviously. To me, the most important parts there was her saying, I watched her as much as I could. And then when she said, we're just doing our job. If you don't know what that means, I'll elaborate for you. That means I think she's a great player. So I watched a lot of her games, and I've done my research. I've done the scouting report. I know what she does well. I know what she doesn't do well. I know what kind of defense I'm going to implement. I know how we're going to attack her. I know how she's going to attack us. This is her fucking job, is to figure out ways to beat the opposing team. And unfortunately for Caitlin Clark, and this is to the media, unfortunately, she has to go against the rest of these people, the rest of these women in the WNBA. And like Becky Hammond said, they're doing their fucking job. What are they supposed to do? Yeah, she's great, but every great player, you gotta watch their film so you could figure out ways to beat them. And like I said the other day, this is probably the worst she's ever going to look in the WNBA. And she is still giving them 17 and 7 a night. And I think the rest of the WNBA already knows and understands and recognizes this. That's why they're sticking on her like white on motherfucking rice, because they know how good she is. The way that they're playing is telling you they know how good she is, because they know once she figures it out, she's gonna score the shit out of the ball. Don't let her get a 40 bomb. She gonna look at these women like, you can't fucking touch me. Don't let her get a 40 bomb, because there's gonna be straight 30s the rest of the season, and they know this. They know it's a matter of time, but they can't just sit here fucking sucking her off every time the media wants to ask a question. That's not how this shit works. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I thought that, Becky Hammond obviously came up under Greg Popovich and responded the way she should, because if I were them, I'd be tired as hell too. I'm sure Caitlin's tired as fuck of all the shit. You know what I'm saying? But to a nicer note, to switch the gears up on before we get up out of here, I saw this and I thought that this is really interesting, so I thought I'd share some of mine. So the question is, name a random player you dominated with in 2K. So, who are sleeper 2K players? Now, I've been playing 2K since probably, I think 2K8, something like that. Like, I definitely had like 2004. No, it was like 2K6. I think is when I started getting 2K, and I think I got NBA Live. I like alternated for a couple years or some shit like that. So 2K, I start with. All right, so we'll start with one of my earlier ones on the Boston Celtics, on that championship team. Right, let me make sure this motherfucker was actually on there before I start spewing some bullshit. Oh, yeah. He was on that shit for sure. Yeah. The obvious one is obviously Eddie House was light. Honestly, he was probably better on what was it, on like Cleveland or Miami? But James Posey on the Boston Celtics in 08-09 on that championship team, Ray Allen was automatic, but when you subbed any of those fools out, put James Posey was cash, bro. Shane Battier on the Rockets teams, cash, bro. Shane Battier was cash. And then my secret, right? Because when I used to play, I like using like legend teams. Like I'm an old school head, right? So 90s ball. So when I would pick the Houston Rockets, the championship Houston Rockets, the 93-94 team or 94-95, whatever, that championship team, people would be like, oh, you're gonna use Clyde Drexler, or you're gonna use obviously Akeem. No sir. Kenny the Jet Smith was good for 30 when I was using him, boy. Kenny was a sleeper, bro. Sleeper. Yeah, moving on a little bit though to like the 2010s when I was using the New York Knicks a lot with when Melo was on the team. If you know this, you know. I promise you, Steve Novak was one of the coldest 3-point shooters in a 2K game. I would put him up against damn near anybody, bro. Steve Novak was different. Like, brother, bro, like you don't even know. Steve Novak was fucking different, bro. And let me see. I don't know if I have any other ones that are like real big sleepers like that. Oh, I got one for this year. I got two for this year. Jaden McDaniels in this 2K game, cold. 3-point bucket, everything, bro. Dennis Schroeder, nasty. Crossovers, floaters, Euro, everything. Hit threes. Bro, I'm telling. Sleepers, like I love those type of players, like the one that get you 15-20 when the other person not expecting it. Oh, those be the best. Those be the fucking best, bro. Leandro Barbosa on like the 2016 Golden State Warriors. Oh my god, you be going on a whole run and they over here trying to get to Steph Clay or whatever, and then Leandro Barbosa wide open for a 3 in the left corner, cash. Every time. All right. Fuck, man. I could talk about this shit all day, but I gotta get up out of here before I fucking start yapping some more. As always, it's your boy, it's your host, Jayson Estrera. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this beautiful Monday. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you guys always for hanging out with me. Like they said, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. So I appreciate you. Thank you guys. Peace.